All right. So just for the record to speak, for y'all watching this recording, I was driving home on my phone, and so it was not recording at all. However, this is a lot of new people coming in, especially from the fingerprinting classes, and they're asking me really good questions about the paternity testing business. So I'm educating them on how the kind of the coordination works. All right. So this is for the record. All right. So when someone calls, they're going to pay me first. Okay. They're going to pay me on Square. What payment model do you use? Square. That's what I use. Square. Okay. Some people use Stripe. Some people use Square. Some people use PayPal. But that's what I use. Okay. Then I will coordinate with the collector. Okay. So I will reach out to the collector and I'll say, hey, Johnny Appleseed wants to come in tomorrow with Jimmy Appleseed, his alleged son, a paternity test at 3 p.m. tomorrow. And they'll say, cool, we can do that. Yep. Okay. That's if I call. I like to use franchises. Okay. That's what I like to use is like these franchises that do this stuff. Okay. Because they're usually always 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Right. And then when the client shows up to that place, okay, because I once the client pays, I say, hey, you guys are going to go to 12345 Main Street to get your paternity test. They never really ask like, well, I'm not going to come to your location over here in downtown Dallas. They don't ask that. They don't care. They just want the results. All right. So I say, you're going to go here. Boom. And your collector's name is going to be this person at this location. Boom. They go to the franchise location. I use any lab test now or ArcPoint labs. Okay. That's what I use. Okay. As franchise locations. Then when they arrive there, sometimes they will call me. The franchise will call me sometimes and say, hey, Johnny Appleseed's here. Can you please pay for their collection? Can you please pay their collection fee before we start testing them? And their collection fee is like $35 or something, or like $25 or $50, or it's never that high. It's never like extremely high. All right. Now I'll say, yep, I'll pay it. And then from there, they'll start testing them. They'll swab the inside of their mouth using a paternity testing kit. Here's the kit, by the way. This is a paternity testing kit. Right here. This is the DDC paternity. This is worth between $300 to $500 right here. Okay. All right. Or after they get done collecting the person, before they samples off, they will then send me an invoice, or they'll call me and say, hey, can you go ahead and pay? And I'll pay. And I'll just pay over the phone, or they'll send me an invoice through like QuickBooks or something. Okay. That's how it's done. Now, these kits right here. Go ahead. Somebody want to ask something? No? Okay. All right. These kits right here. All right. Here's what I learned in the very beginning when I first started kind of outsourcing tests, because I work 9 to 5. I can't do these tests every day. I can't. Like I said, I'm not going to fly to Baltimore. I'm not going to pay $800 to fly to Baltimore and do a paternity test and then fly back home. That's just ridiculous. Okay. Now these kits, the reason why I use specific collectors, and I show you in the course how to do it, and these franchises, because these kits already on hand. We have them there. I don't have to ship anything to them. They're already partnered with DDC too. See right here? See that? They're already partnered with them. So what I do, I just send them a case number. Case number. I'll show you how to do that in the course. Say, hey, Johnny Appleseed wants to test PM. His case number is R1234568. Here's a Google Calendar invite, and it's a legal paternity test. Yada yada. Whoop de whoop de whoop de whoop. And they say, cool, got it, thanks. And that's it. And that's all. I collect my payment even before they ever step foot into anywhere. I always charge. I don't ever say, oh yeah, you can go there first and then pay me. No. You got to pay me first. You got to pay me first because I'm coordinating everything. All right. So that's what I do. Long answer to that. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I put it on the chat, but I can repeat it. Like, there is any certification you have to go through, or?
No. No, there's no certification. Now, okay, no, yes and no. No, to operate this business as a whole, no. If you, because there's certain tests, there's the pregnancy paternity test, you have to draw blood, right? For that, for the mom's arm. Okay, that's how you do that test. If you want to draw blood, you have to get certified as a licensed phlebotomist. You have to go to a school for that. If you want to do it, now guess what? I'm not a phlebotomist. I just contact phlebotomists, or I contact those franchise locations that do those things. They have phlebotomists on staff already. Do I have to hire the phlebotomists? No, I don't hire them. I just say, hey, y'all do this collection for me? Yeah, sure. How much is it? Oh, it's gonna be $65 for both the mother and the alleged father because it's a blood test. Okay, cool. That's it. So no, you don't. All right. Let's see. My wife is texting me.
And for the course, when we register, we are on. And for how long is the course?
How long do the calls normally last?
Yes.
Oh, it depends. It depends on what the person's going through. My VA was on a call last week with a lady, well, 2 weeks ago, with a lady for 54 minutes. But it's because her situation was like really, 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 really messed up. It was a bad situation, and so she talked to. You know what I'm saying? I have made posts in 6 minutes in a Target in the aisle for gift cards. In a Target, I made $1,700 in 6 minutes just talking to somebody on the phone because I was able. I know the questions they're going to ask, and I know the sales process, so I was able to do that. And I have talked to somebody for an hour because they were on the phone crying with me because it was a bad situation.
Okay.
So it just
my question, it was more for the course, like how long?
Yeah, after she wants to know how long it's gonna take her from start to finish the course.
Oh, the course. It depends on how long, because it's self-paced. It's a self-paced course. So once you buy it, it's all online. It's all pre-recorded. You can finish it in it's 2 hours worth of video content. So you can finish it in 2 hours. It's a lot of dense information. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you can finish it in 2 hours, but you're probably going to want to rewatch to really get that and take notes.
But after the course, we can be still in touch if we need some help.
Oh yeah. I have a Slack channel that you can there's a Slack group that I have, a text group. I think Tony is in it now. I think I'm not mistaken. I don't know. You could just, no, not Tony. I'm sorry, not Tony. Somebody just bought my course and they just got in it. And you can just ask me questions. I'm in there all the time. I'm in there every day. You just ask, hey, bro, what about if you want to book a one with me? That's the consult you would have to pay for. If you want to book a one-on-one with me directly for an hour. I also offer Paternity University Direct, and that is for $2,500 at the moment. That is one-on-one with me for 8 weeks. 8 weeks, one-on-one, nobody else, one-on-one with me, 8 weeks. Just me and you talking through the process right here. You get access to content in regular Paternity University, but you get one-on-one with me and refer you directly to the laboratory. So I will hit the lab up ahead of time at the 4-week mark and say, hey, this person's ready, they're serious. This is their name. Their name is Carol. She's ready to go. She's ready to go. You know what I mean? So
perfect.
Hey, Tony, how many of your students are successful without using the one-on-one program?
Yeah, I've only had one person get the one-on-one program because I just started it last month. So
does anybody have questions? Okay, please, if you got
hold on real quick. Hold on. We got multiple people talking.
You make me excited.
Hold on. I got it. Y'all gotta learn Zoom etiquette here because we're talking at once. Okay. So you said how many of my students are successful with the one-on-one? Like I said, so far one person has gotten it because I just started it last month.
No, actually, without it. But I'm asking like.
Yeah. I would say I got about a good 5 or 6 successful because they are hyper serious. Like I said, you want people who are serious. this business will not make you a millionaire overnight, just like fingerprinting or notary. It doesn't. You have to work. You have to work. Now, are you working in the sun sweating? No, but you have to do the work. You have to do the work if you're going to do this business. Like, I can hold your hand, but so far, I can give you as much information like I can give you all the information in the world. But if you don't actually act, if you know, never hit up the laboratory, or you wait 8 months, or you thinking too long about your logo, business name, you're not going to be successful. The people that are successful and they're making $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 a month in sales, and they're eventually making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month net, are the people who like take action and they're like going after it. They're going crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah. I hope that answers your question. I'm sorry, my wife is texting me. When the wife texts you, you got to answer. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Anybody else got any other questions? I'm here. Like I said, I'm giving y'all an extra hour because, you know, I was late. So ask away.
I have a question. So if I take a phone call and say I just want to be the middleman, how do I call that person back so I could set up an appointment with like a phlebotomist and then call that person back? Like, how would that phone call go?
That's a great question. That is a phenomenal question. Because I did that at first and I missed out on so many sales. I missed out on so much money because I hung up the phone. When you hang up the phone, you never get them back. You'll call them back and they'll be like, who is this? All right. So now this model is going to be a little bit more used in certain states like California and New York and like New Jersey and like kind of the Northeast. Is a little bit different. This is the model that has worked for me in all my cities. I use the franchise locations that I talked about, Any Lab Test Now and ArcPoint, because Any Lab Test Now is a they do all types of blood tests. They do STD testing, drug testing, and so their whole model is you can go in and get any lab test now, as it is a lab testing place. Okay, all right, like a medical adjacent clinic. So because of that business model, I don't necessarily, they test anytime from 8 a.m. to 4:30, 5 p.m. 5 tons of pictures, all right? So I don't have to like hang up the phone and call Any Lab and be like, hey, can you take this guy? No, they're going to take him. Because that's what they do. I had to learn that though. I didn't know that for like a while. So if somebody says, I'm in and I want to do a paternity test tomorrow at 3 p.m., I'll say, yeah, sure, we got openings. Yep. Now, card information, please. I don't hang up the phone. And somebody just asked, do I have to, hold on. Do you actually need to have a phlebotomist? No, you don't. I mean, if you want to have, if you want to like, okay, there's another business model that you can do. All right. I do the outsourcing business model. That allows me to scale. If you want to like be full-time and like rent an office and be in the office and like be sitting there waiting for calls and like have a phlebotomist there, I mean, you can do that if you want to. You just have to pay that phlebotomist like a salary, but that's not going to be good starting off because you're not going to be making that much money starting off. Like you won't. So to scale, I use, like I said, Any Lab Test Now and Art. I'm giving y'all the game. I'm giving y'all like the game. I use those franchise because they have phlebotomists already that work for them. Somebody was calling and say, hey, can you do this? They said, yeah, sure.
It was Any Lab Test Now, and what was the other one?
ArcPoint Labs. ArcPoint Labs is the other one.
So after I get off the phone with the client, I just call Any Lab Test Now and be like, hey, I got somebody coming in at 3.
Yep, I email them. I just email them. I call, what I do is if I'm going to set up in a new location, like if I'm going to set up ads in a new location, that I call that Any Lab before I even start getting clients and say, hey, my name is Roll. I own Assurance DNA. I'm going to send clients your way to do collections. What's your collection fee and what's your availability? And they'll say, blah, 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 blah. Yes, we can do it. And I'll be like, hey, can I just email y'all, the client information and everything? They'll be like, yeah, sure. And that's it.
Okay.
That's how I do it. That's exactly how I do.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I came in late.
Royal?
Yep. Wait, Carl, go ahead. Go ahead, Carl.
So I guess so. What we're like the middleman. So like they come to us for a DNA test and we call a lab. And so
Yes. So, all right. Yes, we're the middleman. Yes. All right.
Okay.
So we're brokers, we're middlemen, we're coordinators. I mean, you can
Okay.
do the test yourself. You can actually swab them. You know, you can open up this kit here. All right. You can do that. But if you are working 9 to 5, or you just don't have the time, you outsource it.
Okay.
You're a coordinator, you're a broker.
Okay.
So yeah, yes, that is correct. And that's what I teach in the course. That's the business model that I teach.
Okay. So you're selling a course to teach that. Okay.
Yes, the course teaches you how to fish. Correct.
Oh, how to get clients. I got you. All right.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct.
How much is your one-on-one?
$2,500. And you can pay 50% up front. I could work something. I could work out a payment plan essentially, because I get it. But it's $2,500 at the moment. As of now.
Okay.
Yeah. Will looks like he has a question. Somebody has another question. They're trying to talk.
Yeah, I just had a question. I'm new here and I haven't gone through all the modules yet. How do you go about getting the test? I mean, is that something that the client would purchase, or how does all that work?
Yeah. So, and Will, I think you just bought my course like an hour ago, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, you did. So it'll show you in the course. So when you set up, you're gonna reach out to two laboratories. I tell you in the course, the 2 laboratories to reach out to, and you're gonna request a corporate account, a corporate distributorship or reseller account with them. Okay, that's for free. They don't charge you that up front as of now. I don't know what they're gonna do in 2 years or whatever. All right, and then they're gonna send you these kits. They're gonna send them to you for free. This kit is worth $1,700 right here. This is a prenatal paternity test kit. They're gonna send these to you for free. That's how they get them. They send them to your house. Okay. This is it right here. And you have them. Now, granted, I don't really use these kits no more because, like I said, I outsource all my tests, or most of them. I don't use them. This is a informational test right here. This is informational means non-legal, meaning it can't be used in court. The difference between an informational and a legal test is something called a chain of custody. A chain of custody is what I'm gonna pull this out and show y'all, so y'all can know I'm really about this business. All right. This is called the chain of custody. Any AABB accredited lab has a chain of custody or a client consent form. This is what your clients will fill out. This is what makes it court admissible, because it says Becky Benson was here at this date and this time and she took this paternity test, or she brought the child in to take the paternity and she signed for the child. So if you ever get subpoenaed or go to court, you have a record of this and say, yeah, they were there. Can't deny it. You took a picture of them and their ID. Yeah, no, they were here, Your Honor. Court admissible. All right. You charge higher for these. You charge lower for this. Okay.
Got it.
I am preaching and teaching. What's up? Any other questions? Ready? What's up?
Yeah, what's the startup cost normally?
Startup cost, outside of my course, right? You pay for the course, that's the information.
Yeah, outside.
On or about, my students are normally, they're reporting, it was less than $500 for me. My Georgia LLC was $100. My website was starting off $20. Okay. The labs don't charge you for the kits. So I bought a flip phone from T-Mobile for $100, so $220. Right. Monthly service for that was $50, $270 now, right? Okay. And then your first month of ads, like if you want to run ads immediately, you're gonna start off maybe around $100, $150 or something. You don't have to get an office space starting off. Like you don't have to get an office. You can, what you can do is get a virtual mailbox or a virtual or like a co-working space, you know, type thing. And that might cost you like $90 for the first month, but you can like airborne all the way. You can cancel that after like a month or so. So you're not going to be paying like $10,000 to start. That you don't have to buy a new car. You don't have to get a freaking skyscraper. It's minimal, you know. That's pretty much it.
Okay, and what are like normally like how much do you average charge?
I'll give you all my prices right now. All right. I charge $349 plus tax for a court admissible paternity test. I charge $199 plus tax and shipping for a home paternity test kit that I would send them to their house. Most people don't trust themselves to test themselves. It's actually not hard. So if they don't want to test themselves, they can come into one of our partner locations and I charge them $299 plus tax for that. For a prenatal paternity test with results in 21 days, non-legal, I charge $1,399 plus tax with a $300 deposit. For prenatal paternity tests with results in 3 to 7 business days, court admissible, I charge $1,599 plus tax with a 50% deposit of $848. For a avuncular paternity test, avuncular relationship test, grandparentage, or siblingship, peace of mind, I charge $299 for each of those. For court admissible, I charge $399 plus tax. Those are all my prices.
Are those prices in the cost?
You said in my cost?
No, those prices are they in the program, in the class?
Oh yeah. I tell you exactly how much you can charge. Yes. I tell you like this is the range of what you can charge, you know, depending on kind of where you are in the country. Like if you're in California, you can charge like $400, $450. So yes, all that pricing information is in the class. And I tell you how to do your market research and call around and ask folks, how much do you charge? I tell you that I'll give you this game right here. LabCorp is the biggest, you know, like blood testing like company, like overall in America. They're a publicly traded company. They charge like $500, $600 for a paternity test, and they never answer their phone. So a lot of people, they say, oh my gosh, Royal, I bought your course and I'm doing my market research. I'm looking on Google and I'm looking for paternity testing and I see all these LabCorps. Should I be worried? Oh my gosh, I don't think I should start this business. They don't answer their phone. They suck and they charge too much damn money. You will beat them. You will beat them. You can't even they don't answer their phone. You be on hold for 30 minutes. People call. Like I said, they don't buy the stuff online. They call. You got to answer the phone. All right. So yeah, you'll call around to these different places, these different paternity testing places, or these different places that do paternity testing, and you act like a client. Hey, I need a paternity test for my son, Johnny Appleseed, who I think is my son. How much do you charge? Oh, we charge X. Bet. Call all of them. Write down the prices and average out. You might have to charge a little bit lower to start because nobody knows who the hell you are. But over time, I charge what I want now because I know I'm good and I'm gonna get them their answers within a week. And they be like, damn, that's expensive. Okay. Go with the cheaper person. I bet you they won't answer their phone. Guess what? They call right back because the other person didn't answer their phone. That's it. That's all. What are the questions y'all got? Feel free. Ask away. I love it. I love it. Ask. I'm gonna plug my light up here.
Okay, I think you might have answered. This is Jennifer. I had more of a question. Is it necessary to start with our LLC? Is it okay to start with just the DBA?
I mean, you can if you have an existing business.
I do, yes.
Yeah.
But I guess my main question is like if we're trying to set up a corporate account, do the two labs require that we have an LLC?
DDC requires you to have an LLC.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Who?
DDC DNA Diagnostic Center requires you to have your paperwork. Yes.
Okay.
So whether it's an LLC and then you have your DBA, they require you to have an entity formed.
Got it.
It could be freaking Jennifer's Giraffe Services, and as long as you have an entity like formed, they're like, okay, cool. Like, do you intend to do DNA testing? But like I said, I'm gonna say this over and over again for new folks that came in. Do not get my course if you are not going to be serious and actually run this business. I'm telling you, don't do it. Do not do it. Do not get my course if you're not going to be serious, man. I'm telling you. These, like, if you set up an account with a lab and they send you kits and you never ever set your business up, or you quit or something like that, that pisses them off because they just wasted a bunch of money on you. And then they're gonna be looking at me like, what the hell? You're sending all these people? Come on.
That makes sense.
Do
Thank
not
you.
get, like, if you are not gonna be serious about this, get off the Zoom call now. And that's why I'm
No,
raising the
you're-
price.
You're
What do you
right, because as a safety specialist, I will order kits. They would give them to me free because I'm frequent their business. So I can identify with that.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like, if you're not gonna be serious, get off the chat now. I'm telling you, like I said, that's why I raised the price of my course, to detract from people that's like, oh, I'm gonna just get his course and then I'm gonna hit them up and then I'm gonna get the kits. I'm gonna never use them. And they be like, hey, bro, that cost us $80,000 this month. That's not how much it actually costs somebody, but that's why I'm not. And I'm only teaching 100 more people, by the way. 100 more people are gonna get this course, and I'm gonna end it forever. And I'm just gonna do one-on-one consultations after that. That's it. Like one-on-one, like one consultation a year. That's it. Like, I'm stopping at, like I'm saying, from here on out, 100 more people will get access to the information, and that is all. With DDC, do you submit liability insurance before they? No. If you want to be a collector, they'll ask for it, which is weird, but not as an agency owner. No. I'll tell you this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Insurers have no idea what the hell we do. Like, I have tried to get general liability insurance and all that stuff, cover my bases, right? Errors and omissions. They're like, yeah, we can cover you. And then they'll do their underwriting. And they'll be like, we don't even know what is that? What are you talking about? I'm like, I do paternity tests. And they're like, we cannot compute. So no. My mentor has it through State Farm. And I'll admit I have to retry again, but I have to tell them I'm like a consultant or something like that. Cause like they literally cannot understand, underwriting cannot understand what paternity testing is. They're like, wait, are you a laboratory? I'm like, no, I'm the middleman. Oh yeah, no, So I'm like, all right, I'm a consultant. I consult people on paternity stuff. Oh, okay. That's what it is. I'm being serious. Okay. Zoom says, when sending a client to the lab, is there any chance that the client sees the lower price for the same test at the lab? There's a chance. Okay, I did have that happen, but it wasn't with the place I sent them to. Like the places that I send them to, we generally charge about the same. The only secret is I offer payment plans on 2 of my tests, on the pregnancy test. They don't. So like I went to visit one of them out in El Paso. She was like, I don't know how you be selling all these pregnancy paternity tests for $1,700 a pop. We can't sell any of those because they demand everything up front. I sell them at a payment plan. I didn't tell her that. Right. But anyway, I did have one lady, and she never asked for her money back. She paid me $848 deposit for a prenatal. And then she said, hey, I found a place that does prenatals for $950 total. I was like, are you sure that's total? Are you sure they're not doing a bait and switch technique? And she's like, no. I was like, are you sure? Ask them if the lab they're using is AABB accredited. She never got back to me. And then I was like, hey, I can process a 25% refund for you. I have a no refund policy, but I can give you something back. And she just never answered. So,
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How soon after taking the course can I start?
You can start as soon as you want. It's up to you. I just give you the information, and then it's up. If you got, what the young people say, you got that dog in you. You got that dog in you. You can go for it.
Oh, I got that. I got that.
My students who are making 4 figures, they haven't cracked 5 figures yet. My students who are making the upper 4 figures a month, they got that dog. They starving. They're starving. They're hungry. They don't just get the information and be like, oh, okay, well, I'll start next year.
No.
They went after it. So
I need ASAP.
ASAP. They go crazy too. They go crazy. So yeah. Okay.
Hi, Royal. This is Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Morris from Texas. And I want to know, this is my very first time on the call. And I want to know, okay, is there a cost to be a collector or no?
I have an ebook for you to be a collector. Is that what you're asking? Is there a course for it to be a collector?
Yes. Or how do you actually, I think I saw something where you're at one time, I don't know if this is old or not, but your mom or something was kind of working with people.
Yeah,
as far
yeah,
as-
yes, that is correct. I have a course, which is funny because one of my students was a collector from my mom, and then she realized, wait a minute, I can own the whole thing. And then she did that.
I would rather be an agency owner though. I mean, I
Mhm.
like, being my own boss. And you said that the course was, you say three, what did you say? How much
Three
for
hundred
the
and
course?
$49 for the next 5 days. After that, it goes to $800.
Say that again.
It's $349 until November 1st. And
Okay.
then after November 1st, it is $800.
So,
Now I'll give you some game. I'll give all y'all some information real quick. The difference between a collector and an agency owner is a collector just waits for an agency owner to call them to do a test for them, which may never happen. It might not happen. A collector is at least with DDC, you can partner with, you can get with DDC and become a collector for them. All right. And if DDC needs a paternity test done in your city, they might call you, maybe, if they ever do. Okay. And they'll pay you like 50 or 60 bucks with a paper check in 30 days. And you don't advertise, you don't set up your own advertising, you don't set up your own pricing, you're just waiting for people to call you. Now, guess what? As an agency owner, you can be a collector too. I have done collections for other people. I've done a collection for a lab in Germany. I charged them like $290 something or something like that because I had to pay for shipping too. But I've done a collection for an agency owner in Las Vegas. He had a client in El Paso, came across my stuff on Google, called me and was like, yo, can you do a collection for me? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it for 80 bucks for both the children. Okay. He paid me and I did it. So to answer your question, Becky, yes, you can be a collector for other people, and you can't, if you want to just be only a collector first and you don't set up a corporate account, you can't be a collector and an agency owner. If you set up a corporate account first, then you can be both an agency owner and a collector. If you see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? It's almost like if you own a drug testing business and you just collect the samples, I think, versus owning the actual entire drug testing business. And you call collectors and be like, I need you to do this. Or you have a collector on staff to collect your own sample. See what I'm saying?
how do you actually, how are we actually paying you? And then once we pay you, then when did you say we start? I know you said that, but I don't remember.
You instantly get access to because the course is an online self-paced video course. So you get, I'm giving you the information, like I'm handing it to you, and you can, like I said, you can watch it all the night and be like, all right, tomorrow I'm gonna go ahead and like I said, let's say you already have an LLC set up because you're already on a notary business or a fingerprinting business or something like that, right? All right, and you already have a website with your fingerprinting stuff on there, and you just say, all right, bet I'm gonna just add DNA testing. Boom. If tomorrow if you say I'm gonna hit up the lab that he talked about, you can hit them up tomorrow, and then they'll respond back to you usually within a week or ish, and then you now own it. Once you sign the paperwork with them, you now own a DNA agency. There you go. And then you just got to get on Google and just advertise. That's it. And then you just got to answer. Jennifer says it's a great course too. Straight to the point. You can finish it in a weekend. Yes, that's what I made it for. No, you don't get a certificate of completion because I'm not like a school. It's just an online course. I'm just giving you game. That's all. So no, there is no certificate of completion, ma'am. Royal, after completing your course, what are the chances of us being denied? I have never ever seen somebody be denied. I've never seen somebody be denied, but I have seen people get like ignored because they don't do what I tell them to do in the course. They're like, I think one of my students, I think she corrected it since then, but she like faxed the information to the lab. And she hit me up like a month later and was like, Royal, how come they haven't contacted me back? And I was like, did you email them? No. What'd you do? I faxed them. Why'd you fax them? I tell you to email them. Why would you fax? Nobody uses fax anymore. At least I don't. I'm 31 years old. When was the last time I used a fax machine? Then I actually contacted the sales rep the corporate sales rep for the whole company at that. And I was like, hey, I had a student of mine who faxes some stuff. And he was like, why the hell would she do that? I don't use our fax machine. We have a fax number. We don't even have a fax machine at the company. Why would she do that? That's why I never got to it. Do what I tell you in the course. Do what I tell you in the course and you'll be fine. I've never seen anybody get denied because the labs want to make more money. The more distributors they have doing, selling these paternity tests, and when you sell them, they charge you that fee. So that's the more money they make. But you have to actually sell the course. The test. You have to sell them. You have to do the business. It is a mutually beneficial partnership. The labs love me. I can call them anytime. Hey, what's up, Larry? Hey, what's up, Dustin? What's up, Brett? What's up, Alex? Hey, Ro, oh my gosh, it's great. Because that's the plug, man. I have a good relationship with the plug. Feel me?
I know I just got your course last week and I already got my supplies from Forensic Universal. Thank you. And then I have a phone interview or a phone appointment with DDC tomorrow so they could walk me through their portal.
Ooh, I love it. You see that action?
So I didn't get denied. I'm good. It was real simple. As soon as I hit them up, they told me to tell them about my business. I do fingerprinting and notary, and I was actually with Print Scan, and that's how I seen your video. And then they sent me the rest of the paperwork to confirm everything, to get my bank account information and all that. Universal Forensics sent me their kit today. DDC said they had a peekaboo kit on the way, plus the regular kit for me.
The peekaboo. Yeah.
And then they said that I have the phone appointment tomorrow with them so they could walk me through the portal. So it was real simple, real easy. I wasn't even worried about getting denied. I didn't think it was a thing, but it
man, if you look, man, I tell you this, if you worried about getting denied, don't even, well, I'm not gonna say don't start it. That's not something to worry about. If you literally follow what, Nicole, please tell me if I'm wrong. If you follow what I tell you to do, you will be okay.
Yeah, it happened to me. It was never in my head to even like, oh, what if they deny me? No, I just did what you said and I hit them up, especially when I asked for the second one, because I did Universal Forensics second when I asked you in the Slack channel.
Yep.
And as soon as you sent me that information, I emailed them right away and they instantly emailed me the same day.
Yes,
and they
Larry. It's probably Larry or Jim that you talked to.
I think it was Larry. Yeah, they asked me about my business again, just like DDC did. And I gave them my information. I have their kit today. And this was just last week I got your course.
Yes, Nicole is taking action. So now, Nicole, the thing is, this is the easy part. That's the easy part, what you just did. The hard part is marketing and waiting and waiting and waiting, and then getting that call. Boom, you get your first call, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want the paternity test. Then you get your second one, they don't want it. Then you get your 17th one, and then they pay you $1,800 for one. Then you're like, oh shit, I got a business. All right. Mm-hmm. So like that's pretty much it. Somebody asked another question. Shoot. Oh, Sophia, great question, Sophia. That's my next thing. Royal, can you set up this type of business with the government agency? Yeah, you can. My goal for 2023 is to get a government contract with the city of El Paso, and starting off with El Paso, to do all the paternity testing for the entire county. So yeah, because they don't, the court, they have no idea who to really send people to. Like they be like, yeah, you gotta go do a paternity test. And the client will be like, where do I go? And then they'll be like, I don't know. Well, guess what? What if you're just on the list in the court? Or they'll say you need to go through Assurance DNA or whatever you call yourself. There you go. Boom. You know what I mean? So yes, it is something that can be done. This is something great, I think, to add to your fingerprinting or notary business. I really do. Hell, I'm probably gonna start a fingerprinting business once I get out of the Army and I'm in one place. I'm gonna add fingerprinting to my DNA business. So when one is up and the other's down, vice versa, right? That fingerprinting.
I would recommend purchasing your own machine though, versus going through.
Oh, I know. For sure. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do have a question. What other methods can you recommend as for advertising? Because I have my Google ads set up and I'm just waiting. I have my supplies from DDC. I guess I just need to be patient.
Yeah, I would, the number one is Google, like just regular SEO, your Google
Okay.
business profile, you're getting your reviews and advertising. I'm telling you, because like people
Okay.
aren't looking. It's good to now. I will say this: it's good to have a social media presence and educate people on paternity testing.
Mhm.
I am me and maybe like one of my other students are probably the only paternity testing companies in the world, or at least in the United States and Africa, that actually show our face when talking about paternity. So many people are on Instagram and they just like post a picture of a baby and be like, if you need a paternity test, call us here. That's not
Yeah.
educating anybody. I'm talking
Okay.
education. So yes, it's
Yeah.
good to do that. But people are looking on Google. I asked them, hey, how did you find me? I Googled paternity testing in El Paso, and you were the first to come up, and you had a call button, and I called you and you answered. So here's my money.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
exactly it. Now I've done it. I've done other stuff. I've done, like I said, advertising on podcasts. That didn't work. But you try different things. You are welcome to, like, I've done bus stop bench ads. I've done that. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. It felt great to see my company on a bus stop bench. And I was like, oh man, that's super cool. But like, nobody called me and was like, hey man, I saw your stuff on a bus stop ad. I want to get, no, they just Google you and they call you and you answer.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No problem.
Can someone tell us how you can add fingerprinting to your business if you are a notary already? How do you actually go about adding fingerprinting?
Somebody
That's what
else gonna have to answer that one. I have no idea.
I would answer that one.
You don't need a
Okay.
certification in anything. You could get everything off of Amazon, which is the FD 258 cards. Get like a stamp, the ink stamp, so you can roll fingers and get a card holder. Just practice on your family how to roll the finger from tip to tip, and find out who has government contract in your state. Find out what they're offering fingerprints for. For instance, marijuana. If you own a dispensary, they need fingerprints. I'm in Arizona, so it depends on the laws of the state. If you want to sell suppressors, if you're a gun store owner, they need fingerprints for every suppressor that they own to sell. The schools, all the teachers, anybody who works in the school district out here needs fingerprints. All the coaches, all the nurses, when they complete their class in college, they all need fingerprints. Find out who needs fingerprints in your area. And you can get the machines. The majority of my clients, they all expect to get ink fingerprinted. I just have the machine. So it's easier to keep up with people's fingerprints. If they want more copies, you can archive if you have the machine. But if not, you can do mobile, you could do ink roll. You don't have to invest in a machine yet or at all if you don't want to. Just know how to roll the fingerprint really good from tip to tip. You do get more rejections with ink fingerprinting. It's normal, it's natural. I always offer free reprints when that happens, but you can get everything off of Amazon.
She probably needs to check with her state, because I do know here in Florida, you cannot do ink with majority of these like nurses and things like that. They have to be a level 2.
Okay.
So yes, yeah, she needs to check with her. I would definitely check with the state first, because even tobacco, cannabis, all of them, they have to have level 2 backgrounds. We cannot use the ink cards.
So look, I will say this,
a lot of the states are switching over.
as to not bogart my thing, y'all exchange information, because I'm listening to, I'm like, damn, that's pretty dope, but like I don't want to turn this to a fingerprinting thing. All right.
Okay, we understand.
But I think that was you, Christina. I think that was either you, Christina, or Nicole, that was saying all that stuff about where to go to. The biggest difference between paternity testing and fingerprinting is that paternity testing is mostly B2C. So it's clients calling you and telling you that they need a paternity test. Okay. With fingerprinting, it seems as though you can go a lot of B2B stuff. You can go to those businesses and say, hey, this is what I offer, this is what I can do. So usually it's your every day with paternity testing, you are advertising directly to people, and you're trying to get them to call you, and you're trying to convince them to pay you money for a paternity test, and you're trying to convince them that they need it, essentially. Nicole, you emailed me. I don't know if you want me to answer this publicly about the price increase. So what I'm going to do, Nicole, is I'm going to create like a kind of a separate I'm going to duplicate the course that I have, and I'm going to subtract the subscription fee that you already paid, and I'm going to send that to y'all, to the people who have gotten the subscription, and say, this is your price that you can get it at right here. And then now you have lifetime access. But after November 1st, you know, it's going to go to 800, but I will still subtract that subscription payment that you did. Okay. Because I stopped the subscription, that's stopping as well. So it's straight up just, you either get it or you don't. You know, all right.
I know that was a different Nicole that asked, but I need that too as well, because you putting pressure on me. I'm like, I ain't even got it right now, but I get paid tonight, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do it because I know I can make money. So I can't complain.
Also, good. I'll make sure to get that out. I know the exact people who subscribe. I have a separate list, email list, so I'll push out that very specific one specifically for y'all. You don't have to email me to get the price. The price is on my website, paternityuniversity.com. It's there.
Oh no, I knew. I'm sorry. I meant like if we paid for the subscription.
Oh yeah. No, I got you. Just,
okay.
Yeah, after the call, give me about 30 minutes to wind down from work.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
And I'll push it out. So like I'm gonna put the link in the chat again, paternityuniversity.com. Like I said, this is the only place in the world where you can get this information. Almost like fingerprinting classes, sort of, kind of. I think that's like the only course. It's the only place in the world. There's no other place. The labs don't even teach this stuff. They don't have a program for this at all. Shoot, if I owned a lab, I would have created a Paternity University by now. I don't know what they were doing, but whatever. Like, I would have been. But anyway, that's where you can go and get the course and all that stuff. So like I said, feel free to ask me any other questions. Feel free to ask paternity related. I don't know nothing about fingerprinting, all right? Uh-oh. I think I muted you by accident, Jennifer.
That column is on just Carl.
I hit muted myself. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had another question. Like I said, I really enjoyed the course, and it took me like a weekend to get through. And I also got through the whole Slack channel. And I remember seeing in there the list as far as everyone around the country. I guess once everything is settled, is it possible to get that added? So if like we need to do referrals to people or
yeah. I actually have it. I'm gonna repost it in there because it's a Google Sheet thing. So it's like a live. So you can just add your stuff in there anytime. Like you can add your own information. Yeah.
And should we add ourselves once we are up and running as far as a distributor?
Repeat that one more time.
Like I haven't started yet, but this is something I definitely want to do. I just don't have all my LLC stuff.
Add yourself after you become a distributor.
After? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Add yourself then. Oh, this is a great question, Nicole. You got a great question here. She says, I think I'm limiting myself with my name. I use my city for my LLC, still waiting on the paperwork, but I see to use assurance, certainty, etc. Thoughts? Okay, so for your look, like I said, your LLC can be whatever. Like I said, you can call it XYZ DNA dot whatever. It don't matter for your LLC as long as you have an entity form. What matters is on Google. When you set up your Google My Business profile. Now, okay, by the way, disclaimer, okay? If you already own a fingerprint, if you already own a lab service, if you already own a business on Google already, and you already got reviews, don't change your name because they will suspend you. Or I'm sorry, there's a 50-50 chance they will suspend your profile. And if any of y'all have ever dealt with a suspended Google profile, it sucks. I've dealt with 3. It sucks bad. Okay, more like 5 now actually. So if you don't have a Google location, what matters is on Google, when you create your Google My Business location, then you name it Tampa Paternity Testing Services. You know why? Because it's Googleable. It's SEO. Like people are searching for DNA test Tampa, paternity test in Tampa.
More training.
I'm sorry. I thought somebody said something. Hold on. Okay. So that's what they're searching for. Okay. You name your stuff on Google, your most Googleable thing. So Christina has Heart of Gold Superior Lab Services, right? She already has that. It already exists. She been doing her stuff before she bought the course. Cool, got it. I told Christina, don't change your name, leave it as is. Because you change your name to something, Google will be like, oh yeah, we don't like that, suspend. And you can't get your reviews back. It sucks. You have to like fight with them. And they're all like, all the people that can help you are like overseas in like India and stuff. And it takes them like weeks to get back to them. Okay. So now I did assurance because at the time when I created my business, I wanted something brandable, you know, and like, oh, I'm assuring you that I'm giving you your DNA testing results, which I am. That's what I do. Certainty, assurance, peace of mind. You know, one of my students, he's enrolling as Big Easy DNA. I love that. You know, that's freaking awesome. Big Easy DNA. Don't, if all else fails, don't hire no brand person to help you come up with a name. Don't pay them $1,000 for that. City paternity testing services or city services, right? Even if you, let's say you know, later on you want to add notary or fingerprinting, maybe you can call yourself Tampa Bay Professional Services. You know what I'm saying? That's what you can do. Okay.
So mine is noted by Davis. Should I just get a whole new Google My Business for the paternity?
Can you repeat that one more time?
Mine's is noted by Davis for my notary and fingerprinting. So I was adding paternity to it and just was going to do like Google keywords or whatever to help them find me. Should I do that? A whole new Google My Business for paternity?
It's up to you. Is Noted by Davis, does it have reviews already?
Like 2. I'm gonna push more reviews. I haven't been big on reviews because I partner with the state. So I just get people, Print Scan sends me people, the state sends me people. So I haven't been big on pushing reviews, but I'm for sure about to push reviews when it comes to this.
Okay, do people just call you like straight up, like you don't have no ads, people just call you?
Yeah.
Yeah, just add paternity testing service. Because if you already got motion, like just add that. I mean, like I said, if you want to create a separate one, you can. It's just gonna take you a little bit longer for you to like rise up and you know what I'm saying. But yeah, have your keywords, have your post and your Google and stuff like that to let them know that you offer paternity testing services. You know, have all your product, you know, all your your pricings and stuff, so people can see it, and then they'll call you.
So I should advertise prices as well.
Yeah. Sorry, my wife's texting me. She's asking me if chicken is left. Give me a second.
You're good.
You can advertise. When I say put your prices on there, I mean like on your Google business page, you can add like your services, and you can be like, prenatal paternity test costs $1,800. And like people can see that you have, they sell that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You can create your ads and also be like, yeah, test starting at $199. You know, that's what I do. By the way, in the course, I show you exactly how to create an ad, and I literally give you you've seen it. I give you the template of like what to say in your ad, like, and all the keywords. It's literally like, you don't have to recreate the wheel. You know what I'm saying? I don't make you do that. Like it's given to you. Now, certain cities, certain places, people have different responses and stuff. So like, you know, people in Mobile, Alabama, I'm not shitting on Alabamians or anything like that, because my folks are from Alabama, New Orleans, but like people in certain cities would be like, damn, $200 for a paternity test is too expensive. I don't want to get that. And then you'd be like, all right. But like El Paso, for example, and y'all don't try to comb my turf because y'all won't win against me. But El Paso, they'd be like, all right, yeah, I'll pay for it. It just depends on where you go. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, another thing. New York is the only state in the entire country where the client had to get a doctor's note to get a paternity test. The only state in the entire country where the client has to get a doctor's note to get, I'm talking every type of paternity test, they have to get a doctor's note. And you, according to New York state law, you cannot sell the informational test kits within the state confines of New York. That's how they operate. It's silly. You know, that's how they do. It's
Hey, Royal, I have a question.
Yes.
Can you hear? The state of Maryland, I live in Maryland. Do you have any clients? I know Maryland is completely different on a lot of businesses. And so I'm very interested, but I Are there any stipulations in Maryland that you
Nope.
know of?
The only stipulation is in New York City or New York. That's it.
That's New York.
Everything else
Okay.
is wild. I have, like I said, I have a location in Baltimore. I get clients there all the time.
Oh, you do? Okay. Okay. Wonderful. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Looks like I'm about to have to get off in a second. All right. Who else? Who else got any? Somebody asked about state contracts. Some states and cities, they'll have a vendor list. If you look that up, they'll have like a, just look up like state contracting Texas or something. And some cities, they'll have like a vendor, like a website where you can sign up to become a vendor. Now I have not mastered state contracting. I'm still learning that myself. So like I said, if y'all want to talk offline about that and connect with people, you know what I'm saying? Feel free, because one of my students in DC has a fingerprinting contract. She said it's worth like, they pay her like $80,000 or something like that a year or something for fingerprinting. Something crazy. Yeah, Jennifer, wow, I'm surprised California ain't like that. Yeah, for now, I don't know what California might do. They might end up doing something stupid. Because California and New York, get me on some other stuff. I'll tell you this, Jennifer, there are no any labs in California, or there's like barely any. So you have to use ArcPoint labs to outsource your testing to. I'm just letting you know that, you know what I'm saying? California is a little bit.
Yeah, I searched for any labs. I didn't see any out here. But you said it's Arc Lab?
ArcPoint. Yep. ARC. Excuse me. ARC Point Labs. That's where you can outsource your test to as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. No problem.
So I have one other question and I'm done. When you say you outsource to like any lab, so you collect the payment, then you pay any lab, do you pay them before or after the client gets there?
I pay them, so it depends on what that any lab wants to do.
Okay.
So there's, let's see, I use 4.
Okay.
Irving, Baltimore. Well, Baltimore is an ArcPoint, but they do the same thing. El Paso and Raleigh, right? They all send me an invoice afterwards, after the client leaves. They send me an invoice with a tracking number because I've developed that relationship to it. I've proven that I can pay them, because before they were like, "Oh, you got to pay us first, big dog. We don't know who you are." Fair enough, right? No, so the client will get there and they will call me and be like, "Hey, please pay for this collection." Now, like, also, I would say a lot of clients, most of them don't do same day testing. So like they'll call and be like, "All right, I want to get a test for next Tuesday." So like when they pay you the next day, you're going to get your money from Square, right? It's going to be in your bank account, so that you'll have the money to pay the any lab, fee. You know what I'm saying? There's an any lab relatively close to where I plan to advertise. This is it's not really a disadvantage, because the only disadvantage is that any lab has way more Google SEO power than you do, because they've been on Google for longer and they probably got a bunch of reviews, right? But any lab does not really advertise paternity testing. They advertise their other stuff, or they push their other stuff. I'm telling you, I would call any lab sometimes. I'm like, "Yo, how many prenatal tests do you do a month? How many regular paternity?" They'd be like 3, 2. I'm like, "Damn, I did 12 this month and I made $15,000. I don't tell them that, but they'd be like, "We just can't seem to sell them because they're not trying." Like the difference between, and what I also want to tell y'all too, so if you're adding this to your existing business, your notary business or your fingerprinting business, a lot of places, they do a bunch of shit. They do notary, they do teeth whitening, they sell Brazilian weave, they do DNA testing, they do drug testing, and they ain't good at none of them. They're garbage at all of them, or they're mediocre at best at all of them. If you want to offer this, you need to be good at it. You need to specialize in it. This is something you do. You specialize in this. Like I said, if you're not serious about this, get off the call, because this is something you have to be serious about. By the way, it isn't just about money and Google and all that stuff, but like the stuff that you deliver, the information you deliver changes people's lives. Like this is real deal stuff. Like I had a client call me and tell me her husband went back into being an alcoholic after learning that the kid he thought was his for 8 years is not his. He went back to being an alcoholic. Like it wasn't like the results were fake. Those were real results. This is real deal stuff. So when you operate this business, you specialize in this. You are an advisor and a consultant.
I plan on doing my testing in-house because I do have a brick and mortar. Actually I have two locations because I do other testing. But I did have a gentleman to call me last week, and he said he did a DNA test at my facility about 3 or 4 months ago, and I knew that wasn't correct because I haven't done any DNA testing. And he wanted to know what the 0.5 meant. I guess the results, he just was able to log into his email and got the results. And it said 99.5. And he said he had been on Google all day long trying to figure out the 0.5 because he's seen 0.8, he's seen 0.9. So I told him, I said, listen, we haven't done any DNA testing at my facility. Are you sure that you have the correct location? He swore me up and down. Yes, I had my test done. It was court ordered, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. So I told him, I said, well, I think you probably need to contact the Department of Children and Family because he's here in Orlando, Florida. And long story short, he was just tripping out over that 0.5. And I told him, listen, well, 0.5, 99.5, that's closer to 100% than it is 0. So then he proceeded to ask me, well, if there was a possibility that his brother could be the father. So I asked him, well, do you have a twin? He said, no, his brother is a lot older than him. So listen, you need to find out which facility you took the test at, or you need to contact, you need to contact the Department of Children and Families and speak with them because we haven't done any DNA tests at my facility.
That's a 100% real. Yes, that happened to me when I first started my business. I started in Baltimore. I was in Fort Meade, Maryland. Right, I was in the Army out there, and yes, I would get calls every single day. Hey, this y'all do paternity testing? I mean, yeah. Is this child support? No. You know what I'm saying? I got a test that says 99.7%. Could it be my brother's? No.
Exactly.
Are you a twin? If you're a twin, it would have come back inconclusive.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But if it's your brother, or if you think it's your brother, it would have come back 0. So yes, I do what I do, and that's a good point, what you just said, Christina. When I email people their results, I say, good afternoon, John. This is Royal Assurance DNA. Please see the attached DNA results. Your result, the probability of paternity is 99.7%, meaning that you are the father. I say that to them in the email. So they don't ever call back and be like, am I the, it says 99 point, I did do that before. And they were like, it says 99.999997%. Does that mean I'm the father? Yeah, dude.
Yes,
probability.
exactly.
But they'll freak out. But like I said, this is anxiety inducing. This is real. Fingerprinting is you get, hey, you get this job and you get a fingerprint. Okay, cool. I get the fingerprint. This is like, I get calls from both sexes, women and men, mostly women actually, that call and be like, hey, I'm married and I want to, how do I do a paternity test without my husband knowing? Can I test him in his sleep? And I'll just say, test the other guy. Okay. Yeah. This is real stuff.
It is. Yeah, because I was laughing, and he was like, "Oh shit, I need to go find this little boy or find his mom." And I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, this is like, yeah, facts. No, seriously, this is like real deal information. Will the course go over to? Yeah, I say that in the course as well. Like how you literally email them to them. Yeah, that's it. So Zoom is actually good. Will the course go over how to? Yeah, you just. What happens is the lab, Universal Forensics, they will email you the results in an email. Okay, that's what they do. DDC will post them in the portal. They'll send you an email and be like, the results are ready. They're in the portal. Okay, you just go to the portal if you're a DDC, and then you just forward the results to the client in an email. And I have a template. I don't have this in the course, but I mean, you can figure out your template. I have a template in my notes on my iPhone. I just copy and paste it. Make sure to put the right person's name, right? And they'd be like, here you go. Hey, leave us a Google review. That's it. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's any gems airborne on virtual assistants. Oh, yeah. Mike, Yeah, I think you came in a little bit after I said it, but in which a couple people might have still come in. So when you want to hire, hold on real quick, y'all. Hold on. All right, y'all. I'm gonna answer this one and one more, and I gotta bounce. And I'm gonna post the link again and all that good stuff. Like I said, 5 days going up. All right. Virtual assistant. So when you are looking for a virtual assistant, you can look on Instagram, you can look on Twitter. That's what they mostly are. They're hanging out on Instagram and Twitter, right? Or you can, I would say don't hire a receptionist company. Hire an actual virtual assistant, like one person. You know what I'm saying? I got experience with both. All right. You want somebody who is meticulous, who can coordinate, who understands systems, who you can teach systems. Major key, if they can sell. If they can sell, oh, golden. Like it's a sales. I teach this in the newest module is module 10, where I teach how to sell a paternity test, because you get people that are on the fence. Oh, I don't want to pay this money. I teach you how to like convert them to, so if you can get your virtual assistant to also be a good salesperson, you're good to go. Like my virtual assistant this month has sold like $3,700 worth of paternity tests. You know what I'm saying? Like I had one, she left eventually. She quit, but because she was like, I can't take it no more. But I had one who sold a test on her first day, and it was just because she was able to answer the person's questions, and just make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like a sales tip that you can teach your VA: don't let them hang up the phone. If they want to like pay for a test, if you kind of can hear that they're like, oh yeah, okay, take their card information over the phone. Don't send them an invoice. Don't hang up the phone. Don't let them think and call somebody else or forget. You'll send them an invoice. You'll send them an invoice within a minute, and then their phone will go off or the TV will be on, and they'll look and they'll forget they ever even talked to you. Sometimes, not all the time. So, teacher, if you can get somebody who's coordinating, meticulous, pleasant to speak to, like they have a listening ear and they can sell, and if you can find kind of a newer to moderately experienced one, you might start off paying them like $700 a month. It's worth it though. It's worth it. It is worth it. Now, granted, you're not paying their health insurance, you're not paying their 401k, none of that crap. It's worth it. It's worth it. Oh, Jennifer, your husband was 82nd Airborne. I was too. Yeah, I was jumping out of planes, all that stuff from 1,000 feet, AGL. I did all that stuff.
Yeah. We were back from 2014 to 2016.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was there from 2017 to 2020. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was there. I was 3rd Brigade. But yeah, I got one more question, y'all. One more question, and I gotta roll out.
I got a question. It has to do with the wholesale cost for forensic and DDC. What does 24 marker chain mean? 24? Well, I guess chain is chain of custody, but
no,
it says
24 markers means the amount of DNA alleles they test. So it just means that one is a lot more detailed type of a test. Like it's a lot deeper. They test more DNA markers. So it's a stronger DNA test. You use that for like grandparentage or like siblingship or avuncular. Use that for when like they are the father's not involved. So you want to get a stronger test. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. That's all. Yes, Tony, I'll be back in 2 weeks from tonight. Yes. Yep. Go ahead, Nicole. Did you have something else?
What's the chain and the non-chain?
That means chain means legal, non-chain means non-legal.
Okay.
Yep. So some people don't want the test for legal reasons. They just want to know. That's all. So it's a difference in price. Like I said, now granted, Universal Forensics, the difference between them, they're cheaper. Yes, they are cheaper. So Universal Forensics is great. They're great. They don't have a portal. Okay, so you can't see the status of your test in an online portal. You can do that with DDC, but they're cheaper than DDC and they're smaller, so you can get in contact with them a lot faster. Like a lot faster. Like you can call DDC, you'll be on hold for a little bit, and then you'll speak to like Rhonda or Dodie or any of those other people, right? You know what I'm saying? They're great people. All right. But UFC, they're like that because they're smaller and they want your business. They really want your business. They want you to send them, so they're cheaper, but you pay for the shipping. DDC, you don't pay for the shipping. Like I guess they essentially they include the shipping in your overall cost. Universal, when they send you an invoice for the test the next Wednesday, that's how they do it. They send you the invoice for the test the next Wednesday. They'll say your test is $90 for the testing cost, and then we're going to add $20 for the shipping that we used our shipping label. You know what I'm saying, to ship off the samples, which is like, it's all right, fine, all right. It's $110 compared to DDC's 100 and they're gonna charge y'all like $160. They charge me cheaper because I've been with them longer, right? They're gonna charge y'all like $150, $160 for illegal. Go with Universal Forensics for your mouth swab test locally.
The prenatal ones where if it's the blood, do that with DDC.
Go to DDC because Universal doesn't do prenatals.
Okay.
Ravgen does prenatals, but they're only informational. So don't use them for court admissible. Now, when you're outsourcing, when you're using any lab, that's the catch-22 right there. When you're using any lab or ArtPoint, they're already partnered with DDC. So they have DDC kits on hand. So you don't have to bite the bullet or just send them a bunch of Universal kits and be like, hey, use this. You do that too. Your choice.
So if it's something I do from Universal, I have to give any lab test now one of their kits before the client gets there?
That is correct. Yes. You want to give them, don't give them one, give them like damn near all of them or like a good amount of them. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be sending people to them. And if they have a different, like DDC, you go in the portal and create a case number and then email it to the any lab. Universal, your account number is on the back of your little envelopes they include with you. So when so when they send them, it's they know it's like mine is C94. So they're gonna know like, oh yeah, this is coming from Royal. So they know who to charge.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's a little bit more advanced, Nicole. Like we're kind of having a little bit more advanced conversation.
Oh, okay.
No, it's all good. But folks was like brand new. They're probably like, what the hell are you talking about? But you learn that stuff, and I teach you in the course everything. I'm gonna add another like frequently asked questions section to the course because I get a lot of like some of these frequently asked questions afterwards, and it's gonna tell you every single thing. So technically, all you have to do is just keep watching the course. But like I said, in the Slack channel, you can ask me questions. I'm there. I usually wake up everybody on Monday mornings. Hey, everybody, how's everybody's week going? What do you want to do? Like, yes, the course is for life. You get that course, you have access to it for life. I just ended the subscription because I ended the subscription, but you get lifetime access. That's what it is. Like I said, you could do direct one-on-one with me. Nicole, it was easy for, now granted you did it. Some people are a little bit more timid, but would you say that it would be valuable if I were to say, if I would have emailed DDC, if I would have emailed Dustin ahead of time and be like, hey, Nicole is going to apply for a corporate account. Can you expedite her stuff? Do you think that would have been valuable? Do you think?
No, because I got mine pretty fast.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's anything extra that you need to do. I mean, like literally contacted them last week and it wasn't even a Monday. It's like a Tuesday or Wednesday. And I got my kit from this one's from Universal today. And it's what, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah. Some folks want the Paternity University direct one, the one that's $2,500. That's for people who like want their handheld, which is nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But some folks, they're like, I don't want to email them, or I get the jitters or whatever. I'm like, all right, I'll help you out. You know what I'm saying? But you did it right. You did it exactly how I tell you to do it in the course. And you got your material.
First day I finished the course and I emailed them right after I finished the course. I'm like, I'm serious about this. Like,
yeah, she's serious.
I got into real estate as well. So really it's just real estate and paternity I want to do. I'm backing away from fingerprint. I'm gonna keep my notary, but I'm gonna just keep it real estate and paternity.
Good. Keep it up. Well, like I said, yeah, mine is like, it's like concierge plus with the direct, I literally go through every single week. You get like an hour and a half with me directly, and not you, Nicole, you already, you're good to go, but for the other folks who's thinking about that, like you're with me just like this, but it's just me and you, and I go through, hey, here's how you create your ad, let me help you set it up, all that good stuff. So anyway, yeah, with the recording, yeah, I'll send this recording out to y'all. It'll probably be within like it'll probably be like Friday night or something. Or I might put it on YouTube. I don't know. So yeah, I'll take one last question and that'll be it. Either type it in the chat or you can ask it. I'll take one last one.
Yeah, if somebody like really goes hard and really pushes, how long till they see results? Like at least that first client, you know?
A month, if that. Like it depends. Like if you're starting fresh, brand new, as in you got to get your LLC, that's gonna take, you know what I'm saying? Like that's gonna take a couple weeks.
No, established already.
Yeah, once you're
LLC.
established and you got your ads up and running and you set up your Google My Business right, and you start to get those calls, I would say about 6 weeks. It took me about 6 weeks to get my first client. You know what I'm saying? And I was scared as hell. I was scared, but I was appreciative. And I told him you were my first ever client. He appreciated that. I'll never forget him. But it was about 6 weeks. It was about 6 weeks. And you can, like I'm next time I might have my mentor on. My mentor, he runs a DNA testing business where he only does DNA testing. He averages about $30,000 to $40,000 a month doing this. Probably keeps about, I don't know, probably profits about $15,000 to $20,000 a month from this business. Just from DNA, is only DNA testing. You don't need anything else. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, right? You think about it, like that's a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, goodness.
yeah, but I'll tell you this: I am about halfway there at that level of revenue, and I've only been in business for just like 2 years in December. So, you know, and it took me a lot. It took me a lot of mistakes to get to where I'm at now. Like it took me a lot. So the information that I'm giving you literally cuts that time in half. Like you just got to stay consistent and not give up and not be like, oh, you know, DDC, the rep said it might be too much competition, so I just gave up. Come on, man. Tell them to send that damn paperwork over. I don't care about no competition. They're not as good as me or you. You know what I mean?
Exactly, because what's for you is for you.
Facts. And people are never going to stop making babies and having questions. It's never going to stop, ever.
Absolutely not.
More than enough for all of us.
Mhm.
But like I said, only 100 left. And you know, when those 100 run out, whenever that will be, if that's in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, that's it. I'm not teaching it no more because I don't want to flood the industry with 50,000 shitty DNA agencies. All right. Not saying that y'all will be shitty. I'm just saying. Okay. So everybody, thank y'all. Paternityuniversity.com. Paternityuniversity.com. $349 for the next 5 days. After that, it will go up. For the people who subscribe, I will send you out a new link tonight. Okay. So with your deducted price. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank y'all so much. Oh boy, that was probably the best Q&A I've ever had. All right. Thank y'all so much for the questions. And
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
yeah. Okay. Until next
Thank you,
time.
ma'am.
Okay. See y'all.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.